Welcome to the program, everyone. I'm Brian Craig, always joined by my wife and co-host, Kathy. This, of course, is the Brian Craig Show podcast, which is brought to you by Tom Laporta at Laporta Contracting and Roofing, who will never sell you a roof you do not need. All right, we got a lot to cover. We got some big stuff on Laura Loomer. Trump had a press conference today and some info on the ABC News debate. What do you want to do first, Kathy? Loomer, the ABC debate?
Let's do Loomer.
Okay. Well, okay. I don't have that queued. I have my stuff queued up for them.
Why'd you ask me?
I thought you were going to say ABC. Can we do ABC first? Because I have the article queued up here. I pulled it up on my iPhone.
This happens a lot in our marriage.
I just thought you were going to say
so you know.
ABC. No,
Brian asks me my opinion, and then he does what he wants anyway. It's funny.
No, there's a lot of stuff about Loomer. Yeah. I'm going to talk about that. And, of course, President Trump was asked 3 questions about Laura Loomer today in his press conference in California. So we are going to get into that. And I'm going to tell you why they're going against Loomer. Okay, I just figured it out when I was talking about it on the radio this morning. So we're going to get into all of that and a whole bunch more. But I want to first get into the ABC. I just thought you would have said ABC for some reason. I was wrong. That's why I don't gamble, guys. A lot has been going on about this ABC News debate. And let me tell you this. Being in broadcasting myself, there are a lot of rules when you're dealing with candidates for any office, okay, even local candidates. There's all kinds of rules and regulations under the federal law, and forms have to be filled out. There's all kinds of requirements, okay?
Yeah.
And what ABC News did, this is not in the article I'm going to share, but what ABC News did may have been illegal. You know, ABC is not like the internet, okay, or cable. It is a broadcast network that broadcasts over the airwaves.
Right. And
the airwaves have been declared the public airwaves. You ever heard that, the public airwaves? There was a big debate about this, and when radio was kind of new, FDR made great use of it, right? The fireside chats, you guys know all about that stuff, hopefully. And the radio, there was no TV yet, like radio was not regulated. And then the left, the Democrats came in and declared that the airwaves were the property of the public. And Ayn Rand, you guys know Ayn Rand, Atlas Shrugged, and the Fountainhead, and all that. Ayn Rand was a big advocate against that and said, what do you mean they're the public airwaves? Does the public own the transmitter and the radio station? This is insane. But that's the way it is. And because the Democrats declared that the airwaves were the public airwaves, there's a lot of control.
Well, that's what they're trying to do with social media now.
Well, that's exactly
control of that.
Well, that's what I was getting to. But they haven't gotten control of this of the internet like they have with radio and television.
Right.
Okay. But with radio and television, there are so many rules when you're dealing with candidates, especially for federal offices, but all candidates. In fact, there's a lot of paperwork. I see this at the radio station. It's insane.
Yeah, you deal with this too.
And sometimes I say to myself, is it even worth it because there's so much paperwork for a radio or TV station to deal with it? So the reason I share all this with you, ABC News is a broadcast television network, okay? Not cable, not internet, a broadcast television network. And those old-fashioned rules about the public airwaves are in play. And there's certain legal requirements that I'm not going to get into all the minutia of that. I'm not an attorney, okay? But I know a little bit more than a layman because I'm in broadcasting. There's a lot of requirements that you are required to offer equally both candidates. I don't want to go through what they are, but you guys can look this up. What they did, what ABC News did, and we've got some new information, but from the sorority sister herself, they set up a one-sided infomercial for Kamala Harris.
Right.
Okay. And everything along the way did that. They gave her the special midget podium to hide her height. They did not show side by side. They did a split screen to hide her height. If you saw them both on stage, in one shot, it was from an angle that would give you some forced perspective, so you didn't see the height difference. A ABC whistleblower has signed an affidavit saying that the questions were given in advance to Kamala Harris's team, and they called them sample questions, but the questions were virtually the same.
There's ways around it, like exactly. You just call them a sample, but that's what they use.
And it was reported yesterday that there was another source who said that they had an agreement with the Kamala Harris campaign to fact-check Trump and not her, the sorority sister connection, and all of this. And there's more. And in this article in the Gateway Pundit I'm going to go through gives us a little bit more information about David Muir and the sorority sister of Kamala's. Okay, and being a sorority. So what I'm telling you is that, and I know there's some other things you want to add to what I did, but everything ABC News did on their broadcast television network, okay, was probably a violation of all kind of federal rules and regulations involving candidates, because they put together an infomercial. Now, one of the ways around that is offering the other candidate the exact same deal, but they're not going to do that, right? But that's what happened, and I think a campaign infomercial like that is probably illegal. Right. Okay. So now this article in the Gateway Pundit is really interesting article, and it gives us a lot of information. Okay, now the first part we've known about. One of Kamala Harris's best friends is the senior Disney executive who oversees ABC News, right? Her name is Dana Walden, okay? And this is how she's described. Dana Walden, a senior Disney executive whose portfolio of what she oversees for Disney includes ABC News, is one of Kamala Harris's extraordinary friends, according to the New York Times. Walden and Kamala have known each other since 1994, while their husbands, Matt Walden and Doug Emhoff, have known each other since the 1980s. Walden has donated to dozens of Democrats, contributed to Kamala's political campaign since at least 2003, when she ran for district attorney in San Francisco. She went on to donate to her campaigns for Attorney General, U.S. Senate,
I don't know
White House run 4 years ago. Kamala has credited the Disney executive that oversees ABC News and her husband for her marriage. In April 2022, at a fundraiser which Kamala held at her home. Imagine this, she held it at the home of the ABC News
I really wish Trump would have brought that up at the debate.
Yeah. ABC told the New York Times that Walden, who is Disney's highest-ranking television executive, does not weigh in on editorial decisions. Yeah, well, she decides whose contract gets renewed,
exactly,
and who gets to do what. So they're scared of her.
Right.
So right there, that's all kinds of problems. After the debate, it was revealed that ABC did not disclose that Davis, that was the lady moderator, is an Alpha Kappa Alpha sorority sister of Kamala's, which is a big deal.
Yep.
And it's a very big deal.
Yes, it is.
The day after the debate, Davis is the lady moderator, Kamala's sorority sister. The day after the debate, Davis, this is in the Gateway Pundit, proudly gushed to the Los Angeles Times about her scheme to ambush Trump and how it was put into action. Listen to this. Davis,
oh my gosh.
This is in the from the LA Times. Davis, wearing pink sunglasses while speaking to the LA Times over breakfast at the Ritz-Carlton
the colors of
in
AKA
Philadelphia
are pink and green.
Really? So she was wearing their sorority colors.
I'm pretty sure those are their colors, yes.
But think about this. The day after all the big blow up, she goes to the Ritz-Carlton wearing pink glasses while speaking to the Los Angeles Times. She was on top of the world.
Green and pink every sorority has colors and a mascot. They have a saying. They have a handshake. I was in a sorority. I'm an Alpha Gamma Delta, Alpha Gamma. We had a secret knock for the chapter room and all kinds of stuff. Sayings, very secret stuff that only sisters can know. Once you're initiated, they tell you go through a huge ceremony, an initiation ceremony that lasts all day, and you officially get a pin and whatever you do, and you become a sister. And that's it. And I'll tell you, that it's a nationwide thing. So even if you didn't go to the same college, you are considered sisters, sorority sisters. And it's a very tight bond. Could you imagine if Trump was in a fraternity like ATO or Sigma Chi and David Muir was an ATO, was in the same fraternity?
And had his back?
Even if he didn't have his back. First of all, if David Muir was in a fraternity and that Trump was in the same fraternity and David Muir treated him that way, they might revoke his membership. It is a very tight bond, and that's all I can say. And Alpha Kappa Alpha is the top black sorority. There was one on my campus, and it is the premier black sorority. It's the only one anybody's ever heard of.
And I promise you,
it is the number one sorority. And
I promise you
black sorority.
that Kamala and this girl, because she's vice president and this girl's an ABC person, that they're probably two of the top people in the sorority nationally.
I promise you, well, they have a lot of big figures.
They got to know each other very well.
I promise you, when they met, they did the secret handshake.
Oh, with the debate?
With each other.
Oh, yeah.
Well, anytime you meet, when you meet.
Really? You do secret handshakes?
Yeah, there's a secret handshake for each sorority. And it goes back to when the sorority formed. My sorority formed in Syracuse in the 1800s. So I bet when they meet, they do the handshake. It's a national thing. It's not just the chapter. Every sorority on every college campus has the exact same. It's part of their ritual stuff. It's called the rituals.
So let me get back. So this is the sorority sister. The day after the debate, she got all flashy with the pink glasses, so she stood out, right? The day after the debate, did this interview with the LA Times. She said the decision to correct with the fact-checking was in response to the June 27th CNN debate between Trump and Biden, whose poor performance led to his exit from the race. This is what she said, people were concerned that statements were allowed to just hang and not be disputed by the moderators. So that guy Trump got away with too much. Muir and Davis divided up this. Now listen to this. This is how they prepped. Muir and Davis, the sorority sister, divided up the topics to study. Davis fully anticipated that Trump's abortion claim would come up when she questioned him on the issues. That was an obvious thing to get on the record, Davis said. In the weeks before the debate, various scenarios were played out in table read-like sessions where the anchors and ABC News producers tested their questions and played out possible responses. So they've been I've never heard of rehearsing for these things.
I told you on the last show, I said this whole thing looked so well rehearsed. You could tell between the three of them. And I promise you, Kamala was involved somehow in their rehearsals. It looked like a dance to me.
There's no way that they had extensive rehearsals like this and everything for weeks and weeks, and they didn't have Kamala a part of it.
Absolutely.
Especially her being sorority sisters, because you're big into your sorority. That's like I don't know, it's like a secret society. It's like a secret club of loyalty. And
there's definitely a loyalty there.
And if she were to become the president, oh God help us, it might destroy America as we know it, but it would make this sorority like the biggest sorority in history. They'd have the first female president. Well, yeah. That's a big deal for a sorority.
Absolutely.
And this sorority,
absolutely. I mean, you when you join a sorority, they tell you if there's famous people that have, and I'm sure Alpha Kappa Alpha has produced a lot of famous black women because that's the top sorority. But they'll tell you, oh, so and so was a Tri Delta or was a Kappa Kappa Gamma or whatever. That's a big deal. They use it in recruitment. They use it during rush.
And it's a status thing for the women in it too.
So if you have the first female president, absolutely. So of course she is going to play her part to try to make that happen.
Yeah, absolutely. So everything about this debate, the more we hear about it, more crooked than what we heard the day before. I mean, this whole thing. So getting back to this, a former advisor of Bill Clinton's, who is the guy, he was an advisor and a pollster. And I was talking about him this morning. He came up with the soccer mom title in 1996 through his research and polling. He's calling for an internal investigation at ABC.
I agree.
Disney doesn't seem to care what people think. They've destroyed Walt Disney World, and remember that.
Star Wars.
Remember that in that video that came out of that Zoom meeting a couple years ago that Libs of TikTok came a hold of about subliminal suggestions in their children's cartoons. And not only have they not changed anything, they've quadrupled down.
Right.
But I'm here to tell you that what I said at the beginning of the segment, that campaign laws through broadcasting may have been violated, and ABC has a lot of very strict rules because they're a broadcast network, and I adhere to those rules. By the way, okay, I'm not going to go through what they all are. I don't even know all of them. There's people at the radio station that are in charge of that.
It's such a big, liberals are just not being held accountable at all.
Well, for now. So what I'm here to tell you is David Muir and the sorority sister and ABC and the executive at Disney, not much may happen now. But Trump wins. This will not be forgotten. And it has to be looked into because, you know, if they can run infomercials like this and it's allowed to stand, that'll become the new normal. It is.
They fired those two people for sleeping together.
That was ABC too.
That was ABC, yep.
This is worse.
Well, yeah.
This is worse than that. And David Muir could end up fired over this. They got when Dan Rather got fired from CBS News when he was their anchor, he was a much bigger deal than David Muir.
If there's enough backlash that's possible.
You know, Dan Rather was a big deal, and they fired him.
That's right.
And he was fired over less. You know, that AWOL document, he relied on his producers. He did not know it was, at least it's publicly said he didn't know.
I think he knew.
He may have known, but it wasn't proven that he knew. The producers knew. They didn't do their due diligence and all that, and it was a forged document. But they fired him, and they also fired a senior producer at CBS News.
Right.
And David Muir and the sorority sister, they're not Dan Rather. As much as they may think they're bigger and more important than that, being a network anchor ain't what it used to be in the hierarchy of such things.
Well, the only way to do that is usually these things happen because of the public outrage, is to write letters, to boycott ABC and ABC shows. Sure, email. Send email, tweet, text, and that's the way to do that. And but the problem is, we'll see. I'm guessing nothing will happen. It's typical. Because
I don't agree with you.
But you don't think so?
No,
I hope you're right.
There will be things that happen because of this. No doubt in my mind. This is not even close to being done. In fact,
how do you feel about Trump not agreeing to another debate?
He's already done two in liberal territory, CNN.
Yeah, I agree.
And this.
He should say, I'll do another one on Fox, and I get to pick the moderators. That's the way I'll do it. And and she will never show up.
You know, the thing with the way this has gone down, okay? Yeah. I agree with Trump. We watched Trump's press conference today, and the sound we were watching it on Right Side Broadcasting,
right?
But Right Side didn't have a connection to the microphones or the reporters asking the questions. Fox wasn't carrying the press conference; CNN was. So we put on CNN to watch Trump's press conference so we could hear the questions being asked by the reporters. They cut away from the press conference to do a fact check, and the fact check they did was they said, we need to fact check some information here. President Trump said that he won the debate, and all of the independent pollsters have said he did not. Who won the debate is a matter of opinion.
Right.
I believe Trump won the debate. I believe he won it without question, but that's an opinion. That's not the kind of it's not like a race where somebody finishes 100th of a second first.
Exactly.
And you could say
it's subjective.
So it's subjective. It's a matter of opinion, but they're fact-checking opinions now. You have wrong opinions on CNN.
Yeah, well, that's what they do.
So
that's what liberals do.
They're fact-checking opinions. Opinions are not facts, okay? They're opinions. So
they're telling you that your opinion is wrong. They're telling you
you have the wrong opinions.
That if you think Trump won, your opinion is wrong.
Yeah.
I personally don't agree with Brian. I don't think either one. I think it was a waste of time. I think there were some missed opportunities that Trump could have done. He took a lot of bait, which I didn't like. I don't think he lost, but I think it was some missed opportunities on his part, and he corrected some of that today in his press conference.
Well,
he was led down certain paths which he should not have allowed to.
Yeah.
He should not have allowed to happen.
Well-
okay, and he let them happen. It was 3 against 1.
Well, I'm going to fact check your opinion, Kathy. No, I'm not kidding. I disagree with you, but
that's my opinion.
But it's an opinion. It's subjective. You can't fact check an opinion. But regardless of that, no, he should not be doing any more debates. But what Trump said from the beginning was true. When the champ loses the fight, even the challenger loses a fight, they immediately want a rematch to try to get a win, get that title back.
Yeah.
If Kamala thought she won, if she felt that she had a strong win or a win, she wouldn't go to a rematch. Her and her people would savor the win and carry that home. She wants to have a rematch because this one was so obviously choreographed and fixed that everyone's laughing at her. So they want to try to have another debate that's also fixed but not so obvious.
I'll disagree with you on that too. I think they're so deluded that she demanded a second debate within 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Because she was on a high. She walked off that stage and probably high-fived her whole staff and thought I did great because she was very nervous. You could tell her voice was cracking. She had dry mouth. She was like almost visibly trembling. She was terrified. You could see it. You could hear it in her voice. And she did much better than she thought she would in her mind. And she was able to get Trump distracted enough where he did not talk about her record very much, which was what the whole point of that thing was, to keep him off her record.
Kathy,
hold on.
You told me earlier, you told me earlier that you saw a story that ABC, and this thing about Trump being distracted, that they manipulated the lights so that the lights were
he was looking at. They had lights flashing.
They had lights flashing.
Matt Walsh reported.
Yeah, Matt Walsh. They had lights flashing in his eyes
I'm saying
to distract him.
Right.
So think, Kathy, you're debating two people that have rehearsed with the person you're debating. They're muting your mic. They're flashing lights in your eyes. How can anybody say he didn't win? He did well.
I'm
under
saying
those
from
conditions.
her point of view.
Oh, from her point.
She thought she did great. I promise you. And she got off that stage and was on a high and said to her people, let's demand another one because this was so good. That's why she wanted another one. Not because she felt she lost, because she thought, I'm going to kick his ass again. That's why. Now, Trump is right. Now, she's deluded, though. I'm not saying she won. I think overall he did better than her. But to me, it was a waste of a debate.
It was
I'm
a waste.
sorry.
I'll
It was
give you
a
that.
waste
It was
of
a waste.
time.
Yeah.
Nothing. He's had some missed opportunities, and people walked away not really knowing anything more about her. What worked in Trump's favor is the obvious collusion by those three. And that's what's helping Trump in that, because people are like, wow,
Kathy,
the deep state is really bad.
Well, I don't know if it was a waste of time, because as it gets exposed, it's doing a lot of damage to her. I mean, this new thing today from Matt Walsh where they had lights flashing in Trump's eyes throughout the 90-minute debate. I mean, that's
but
insanity.
I don't think he should do another debate with her.
No,
I think it's a waste of time. I think most debates are a waste of time personally, and there's no point. He's done two. There's no point in doing a third. Let's move on, because it's just them. It was just two people bickering at each other. And they were both getting upset and angry, rightfully so from his point of view. But I just felt that it was just, when I finished watching it, I was like, well, you know, that was just pointless to me.
Now,
but maybe you're right. Maybe the backlash will be,
it was devastating.
Will be worth it.
And all the polls are in Trump's favor post debate. The Rasmussen and everything is so.
That is true.
So all the polls post debate are in Trump's favor. Now, I want to take a moment to talk about Tom Laporta at Laporta Contracting and Roofing. If you're in the state of Florida and you need any type of roof work done, you want to call Tom Laporta. He works on every type of structure, residential, commercial, and municipal buildings as well. He even does church roofs. He works with every type of roofing material there is. He'll never sell you a roof you do not need, which no other roofer says. I've never heard another roofer say they'll never sell you a roof you do not need. If you need a simple repair, he will do it. And if you're in the state of Florida, give him a call. I'm going to give you his cell phone number. You can call or text. Okay, call or text. He's a good MAGA guy. He'll take great, great care of you. And we got a roof not long before we first met Tom Laporta, but one day we're going to need a new roof. We're going to call him because Steve Kane got a roof from him. It is spectacular. And I've talked to many, many listeners who have had their roofs done by Tom Laporta, and they just go on and on about how beautiful the house looks, how great of a job he and his crew did, how effortless it was for them, how he handled the HOAs for them and everything else. In fact, on the last cruise, it seemed like every guy on the cruise had gotten a roof by Tom Laporta.
That's funny.
They were sitting around on our last night. We had this cocktail party on the back of the ship outside, and we're out in the middle of the ocean having a great time, and all they're talking about are their new roofs. It was from Tom Laporta.
I love it.
It was perfect. So this is Tom Laporta's cell phone, 954-604-4602. 954-604-4602. Again, you can call or text 954-604-4602. My name's Brian, always joined by my wife and co-host Kathy. We're going to take a quick break and be right back.
Are you a restaurant owner or chef who wants to upgrade your kitchen without breaking the bank? Then check out Auction Factory Tennessee, your destination for top brand restaurant equipment at unbeatable prices. Auction Factory Tennessee specializes in brand new inventory and expertly restored repossessions. Whether you're building the commercial kitchen of your dreams or just need a few upgrades, Auction Factory Tennessee have you covered. And the best part, you can bid and win from the comfort of your own home or restaurant. Imagine saving thousands of dollars on premium equipment. Auction Factory Tennessee have everything you're looking for, from ovens and fryers to refrigeration units, and that's just the beginning. Over the next month, Auction Factory Tennessee is offering over $1 million worth of brand new merchandise. Auction Factory Tennessee has been helping businesses just like yours for over 2 decades. Auction Factory Tennessee auctions are happening right now, featuring everything you need to outfit your kitchen with the very best. Take your restaurant to the next level and go to auctionfactory.com, and under auctions, click Tennessee. That's auctionfactory.com, and under auctions, click Tennessee for Auction Factory Tennessee, producing auction perfection. Are you a parent, a grandparent, teacher, or coach looking for a story to inspire your young soccer fan? Messy, a story for everyone, available on Amazon, is the perfect book for children ages 6 to 12. In Messy, a story for everyone, young readers will follow Lionel Messi's incredible journey from a small boy in Argentina to a global soccer superstar. It's filled with fun facts, life lessons, and beautifully crafted illustrations. Messy, a story for everyone, shows children the power of hard work and perseverance. Available right now on Amazon in paperback, Kindle, and Kindle Unlimited. Give your child the gift of Lionel Messi's inspiring story today and order your copy of Messy, a story for everyone on Amazon. Did you know that nearly half of all nurses report feeling burned out, and that more than 60% of healthcare providers never seek mental health support? If you're a healthcare professional who wants to reduce stress and find peace, there is help available in the book, Human Caring Through Healing Haiku, Mindful Journaling for Healthcare Providers, from authors Jeanette Moreno and Jane Anderson. With this must-read book, you'll recapture the joy of your work and the fulfillment of knowing you've truly made a difference with your patients. This journal offers simple, powerful tools to improve your emotional, mental, and even your physical well-being. Through the gentle practice of mindful journaling, you'll explore uplifting quotes from Dr. Gene Watson's Caring Science. Use soothing haikus to bring calm and clarity. You'll also find thought-provoking reflections to help you reconnect with your purpose. Recapture your passion for healthcare and order your copy of Human Caring Through Healing Haiku, Mindful Journaling for Healthcare Providers, available on Amazon and at healinghaiku.net. This book makes a great gift for the healthcare professional in your life, as well as hospital staff members and those who work at medical practices. Order your copy right now, because when you care for yourself, you care for others. Human Caring Through Healing Haiku on Amazon at healinghaiku.net. It's an election year, and if you're like so many in our country, you're fed up with the current state of politics. But stop shaking your head. Be a part of the solution with the book from Amazon best-selling author and master screenwriter, Dr. Keith Robinson. Now That Makes Me Mad About Politics. Available on Amazon. Now That Makes Me Mad About Politics voices what so many Americans are thinking. It's filled with sharp wit and keen insight and exposes the absurdities, the contradictions, and the frustrations that you and so many are feeling about today's political climate. From the biased mainstream media to the policies that are causing economic and social decline, Now That Makes Me Mad About Politics never holds back. Whether you're a conservative, a Republican, or just a frustrated American, Now That Makes Me Mad About Politics will resonate with your desire for change. This book is a rallying cry for those who believe in the values that made America great. Stand up for the future of our country and enjoy a little humor along the way by ordering your copy of the political satire of the year. Now That Makes Me Mad About Politics from Amazon best-selling author Dr. Keith Robinson. Available on Amazon in Kindle, paperback, and hardcover editions. Make your voice heard. Order your copy right now.
You are listening to The Brian Craig Show podcast, broadcasting from sunny South Florida. Brian is joined by his wife and co-host, Kathy. Follow Brian on social media at BrianCraigShow.com. And now, Brian and Kathy.
Welcome back, everyone. I'm Brian, always joined by my wife and co-host, Kathy. Thanks, everyone, for tuning in. All right, so Laura Loomer, there's a big article about Loomer in the Daily Mail. Donald Trump devotee Laura Loomer sparks MAGA civil war. And I want to go through this article. And you guys know, full disclosure, I'm friends with Laura Loomer, and I've been friends with her for many years. And she's a very good person. She's very loyal. And I'll tell you this about her reporting. She has never been wrong in any of her reporting. Ever, ever, ever. No matter how crazy the report, she's always been shown to be right. There was one time that I questioned her reporting, and I was made to look like a fool. And it was minor compared to many stories that she's broken. Remember, she broke the story recently that Kamala Harris's husband impregnated his kid's school teacher. Remember that? She broke the story that Biden had a severe health episode on Air Force One out of Vegas. They all laughed at her. That was proven right. There was many other stories, but
because people tell her that are afraid to come forward, and they know she's not afraid, so they'll tell her because they're like she has the balls to do it.
She's got great sources. The story that I didn't believe, this was before the betrayal of Ron DeSantis, okay? And Loomer was living in the Villages at the time in Florida, that conservative retirement community. And she took a group of MAGA people to the bookstore where DeSantis was, and he wouldn't let them in the bookstore. And she told me that he's anti-Trump, he's not MAGA, he's good. This was before he betrayed Trump and was running against him. And I said, no way. There's just no way.
I remember that.
And she was right. And I called her up and had her on the show the next day, and I apologized to her on the air. And I said, Laura Loomer, I will never question. And every time I see her, she tells me, you didn't think I was right about that DeSantis thing. But I was like, that's right. I'll never question you again. There's a lot of things she found out. She was the one that found out that Ron DeSantis didn't own a car. Guys, in Florida, you can't get anywhere without owning a car.
True.
It's very bizarre.
We don't have a good bus system, or we have buses, but
we do not have public transportation.
No, we don't have good public transporation here.
You can walk faster than the public transportation.
Yeah, it's not like
you get an e-bike, get an e-bike. But over the years, she has reported on a lot of big stories. Mm-hmm. The ones we mentioned are just some of the recent ones, but she's breaking news all the time. Yeah. She is always right. The first time I can remember hearing of Laura Loomer was after the Vegas shooting. She did coverage on that like no one else, and she was very accurate on everything. And that's when I first heard of her. This was back in I met her because how I met Laura Loomer was back in the days of Periscope. If you guys remember Periscope, it was a live streaming app that Twitter had that doesn't exist anymore. And back in those days, it was not so easy to live stream on YouTube on a mobile device.
No, you were on it. Candace Owens, a lot of people.
Jack Posobiec, me, Laura Loomer, Candace Owens, bunch of other people that are well known now. We were all on Periscope, and she was on Periscope covering the Vegas shooting.
Right.
And I was on, and that's how I met her. And then we got to be friends. But she is always right, and she reports on some of the biggest stuff. And a lot of people don't like her because the stuff she reports. Now, Marjorie Taylor Greene hates Laura Loomer. Donald Trump offered her a job when he announced he was running for re-election at Mar-a-Lago. That night, he offered her a job on the campaign, and Marjorie Taylor Greene came in and killed it. She hates her.
Yeah.
And the only thing I can think of is jealousy. You know, in my experience, women do not get along well in workplaces.
Oh, please. Men aren't like that at all. Men got more fragile egos than women.
Men are more practical because at the end of everything.
That's not true.
Men are a little. I'm
surprised you say that because you have told me so many stories in your business of colleagues, men, that have screwed you over or tried to screw you. Well, what the hell's the difference? Men are not practical. They have fragile egos. Women just get jealous.
No, when you're talking about what because what I do for a living, I'm on the air. Been on the air my whole life.
Right.
So when people are on the air,
right,
it's not like a normal thing. What I'm talking about are like women that have office jobs or work like at a retail. Women just don't get along well together in the workplace. I don't know why that is.
Okay, well, this is a different situation.
But there's
why do you think Marjorie Taylor Greene doesn't like her?
In this instance,
because it's not an office.
In this instance, a lot of the women around Trump they got the hots for him, and they don't like other women around. So
it's a jealousy thing in that regard.
Yeah. And this article today, she's had Loomer's had some run-ins with a lot of MAGA women that I don't know, and she's really exposed some of them, and this article is fascinating. They asked 3 questions about Loomer to Trump today at his press conference in California.
It's crazy.
And I know I know
it's nuts. Be loving it.
Yeah, I know. And, during the press conference, I texted her, and she hasn't read the text yet, Kathy. So I don't know. Should I be offended?
No, you have a friend who's in the motorcade right now that was texting you from the motorcade.
I just got a text from him. A friend of mine is in Trump's motorcade in Los Angeles. And in the first segment, you may have heard a ding in the background. That was me getting a text from my friend who's in the motorcade with the president. So, yeah, I'm connected. I'm connected.
At least your friends are.
My friends are. I'm connected to my friends who are connected to Trump. Yeah, exactly. I know all these connected people.
Maybe one day.
I'm more connected than you guys know, but I'm not so much of a bragger. But getting back to this article, Donald Trump. I'm just going to read through this article because there's a lot of stuff in here I didn't know, and it's just easier to start from the top and go through it than me try to skip down. Okay, because Trump's presidential campaign hit some turbulence, this in the Daily Mail, as the MAGA world sparred over his cozy relationship with right-wing provocateur Laura Loomer. The 31-year-old firebrand accompanied Trump on his private plane as he jetted to the presidential debate in Philadelphia and the 9/11 event in New York on Wednesday. Then they write some things that aren't true. Loomer, known for spewing hate-filled screeds against a wide swath of religious and ethnic groups, has been described as Trump's security blanket. I don't agree with those descriptions, by the way. I spent a few days with Laura Loomer earlier this year and came away with the impression that she functions as a security blanket for Trump, tweeted Kara Vaught, who's a reporter
got all that from
with the Washington
days.
Post.
Give me a break.
When campaigning asks him to deny his most based tendencies, Loomer encourages them, and Trump loves that. Mm-hmm. Despite the comfort she provides, an array of Republicans, from Marjorie Taylor Greene to Lindsey Graham, have denounced Loomer as appalling and extremely racist. And I don't know why they keep calling her racist. And I remember Loomer when
Marjorie Taylor Greene called her a racist.
Yeah, Loomer was. I don't know if this ban's been lifted because she's got Elon let her back on Twitter. She was banned not just from Uber and Lyft. She was banned from Uber Eats. She couldn't even order food.
Yeah.
You know? I'm not kidding. She was banned to Uber Eats from Uber. Who gets banned from Uber Eats? Laura Loomer.
I think what's bothering Trump is it's kind of like, and I get along great with my mother-in-law, so this is not an example, but if you have a husband and his wife and mom don't get along and the husband's in the middle, he loves both, but he's got to be careful because he loves both. He wants both in his life, but they hate each other. Again, this is not me with Juanita. Juanita and I get along great, Brian's mom. But I think that's the problem.
By the way, my mom's not like Hispanic or anything, even though her name is
like
Spanish.
Juanita Broderick.
Yeah, my mother's name is Juanita.
Yeah.
Everyone thinks my mom's Puerto Rican or something.
No, she's blonde hair.
Yeah, exactly.
When I met her, I was shocked. But I guess that was a big name back in the 50s because Juanita Broderick. Anyway, so I think that's the position he's in. And I think it upsets him when they bicker online. And like Marjorie Taylor Greene called her out and said she was a racist for her comments about the White House thing, which there was no need for Marjorie Taylor Greene to even bring that up.
Well, let me go back to the article. Okay,
but other than she hates her.
This is the Daily Mail article today. Laura Loomer sparked an avalanche of criticism after she claimed a Harris presidency would make the White House smell like curry. And, a caller, Greg 2.
This is just a joke.
Greg 2 calls me on the radio sometimes, jerk hates me. He called me about this today. He was calling Loomer a racist.
Yeah.
He says, do you have any comments on your racist friend? And I said, I don't have any racist friends. Who are you talking about? And he said Loomer, and he said, you think about curry. And I said, well, wait a minute. I said, all Kamala Harris talks about is cooking.
Right.
Her mother is Indian. She was raised in a traditional Indian household. You could tell by the family pictures, even through high school. And it goes to reason that she does cook Indian food, and an ingredient in most all Indian dinners is curry. So that's not racist. It's factual.
The White House will smell like curry, and the bathtubs will be filled with collard greens.
That's right. Lindsey Graham called Loomer's comments beyond disturbing, said she was toxic, and warned Trump to make sure her presence doesn't become a bigger story.
They just want her out.
His comments prompted Laura Loomer to claim that Lindsey Graham was a homosexual. She tweeted.
Oh, nobody thinks that.
I know. Everybody talks about that.
She's only saying what everybody's thinking.
Let me tell you, you do not want to be. I'll tell you this thing about Loomer. I was at this.
Oh my God.
I was up at Mar-a-Lago, and there were a lot of people there. And I saw, and Loomer was there, and I had she and I will talk, or I'll have her on the show and interview her, but I hadn't seen her in person in a while. And I was going to go up and talk to her, but I could see that there were these guys that were just following her, taking pictures, and they were so suspicious. I called you, and I told you this. I said, I don't want to go up to her. These people taking pictures, I felt like it was like the FBI taking pictures.
You got nervous.
To identify who she's with. It was very bizarre.
Yeah,
she really needs to have a security team. The harassment that Loomer goes through is at a level. I mean, she can't even order food from Uber Eats.
Let me ask you,
I'm going to lose my place. Okay, so back to the Lindsey Graham. She tweeted this about Lindsey Graham. I want you to relieve yourself of your toxic, closeted anger, Loomer sneered in response to Lindsey Graham. It's 2024. Nobody needs to hide that they are gay anymore. Oh, my goodness. Loomer.
Yeah, I think we all know the truth about that one.
Loomer, who was reported for Alex Jones's InfoWars, yes, she did years ago.
That's right.
In fact, she was.
Is she too crazy even for him?
She was. Yeah, she was here for the Parkland shoot.
Right.
She covered the Parkland shoot. She was covering that for InfoWars.
Yeah, that's when you guys went to that CNN thing together.
Yeah. Loomer, who is reported for InfoWars, has cast herself as one of Trump's most devoted allies in his fight for the White House, and castigated Republicans she accuses of disloyalty. Trump has repeatedly voiced his praise and has described Loomer as a very important person politically. The great Laura Loomer, some of you know Laura. She is a fantastic person, great woman, he told an audience in Nashville in July. Mm-hmm. As the infighting escalated on Thursday, she engaged in a vicious spat with GOP spokesperson Madison Giussiato Gilbert, the former Miss Ohio. Loomer labeled Gilbert, the former Miss Ohio, one of these talentless bimbos in the GOP who actually thinks it's an accomplishment to be a pageant queen. Madison begged Donald Trump for an endorsement when she ran for Congress, and now she's on CNN with Van Jones attacking Donald Trump, Loomer tweeted.
So he didn't give her the endorsement?
No, he did. So now she's trashing him on CNN. It's sickening how disloyal so many of these grifters are, Loomer tweeted. No, we're on CNN attacking you, the racist, she said. But keep lying about yourself. You are a grifter and a liar, among other things. I've supported President Trump for a decade. You're just in the way, she told Miss Ohio, who trashes Trump now on CNN. Listen, Cupcake, replied Loomer. You're a bimbo who calls herself a beauty queen. And you didn't even defend Donald Trump a single time tonight when he was attacked while you were glammed up on a network in a segment meant to attack Donald Trump. Oh, my goodness. I don't need to be told I'm a grifter when you think you're accomplishing something by wearing a bathing suit and a tiara. Oh, my goodness. If I give you a tiara for being a useless bimbo, will you go away and stop lying about Trump and his allies on TV? Let me know. I'll send it overnight priority. The pair have been hugging at public events. Loomer has long boasted of her closeness to the former president. She told CNN she was on a plane with him the day after he was shot. She's closer to Trump. I've been telling you guys for a long time that she's in with Trump much more than people know, and she's with him a lot. He wanted me on the plane with him the day after he almost got assassinated. I was with him. I flew with him to the RNC convention, so to show I'm a trustworthy person. I have his back, Loomer says.
Here's the thing with, and I like Laura Loomer, okay? So don't get me wrong.
By the way, this is Miss Ohio that she called a bimbo.
Yeah, she looks like a bimbo.
Yeah.
I like Laura Loomer. But here could be the problem. If you have when you have a whole team of people with you, there's going to be personalities that don't rub well together. Yeah. That's just human nature, okay? Like when I was in college, there was a girl in my sorority I could not stand. I don't know why. She never did anything to me, but I couldn't stand her. She just rubbed me the wrong way, and I just did not talk to her. I avoided her, and maybe was a little mean sometimes, but, I was in my 20s, early 20s. I wasn't the nicest person that I am now. But anyway, we'll get into that later. But sometimes people rub you the wrong way, and it can bring out your ugly side. And Laura definitely rubs a lot of people the wrong way.
Oh, yes.
So the problem with having somebody like that in your orbit is they can create a lot of disruptions. And that's not good for anybody. And I like Laura, but if you have somebody that close to you, it's kind of like a Meghan Markle. Like Meghan Markle's married to Harry. She's alienated everybody out of his life.
That's right.
So it's just the two of them now. He doesn't talk to his family.
She's a poison person,
He left
Markle.
England.
Yeah.
I'm not saying Laura's poison.
No.
But some people might not like her around, and because of that, they might leave. And if she becomes an isolating person, she has her own agenda, and she's not going to stop. But if it gets to the point where she is like, with Trump, it's you and me against the world. Well, she's not his wife, and he should not let that happen. If she is causing other people to leave or be very, very upset, I think he needs to take a look at that and be like, look, I like you, I appreciate you, but you're upsetting too many people, and it's disrupting things. I want things to be calm, because there are people that are very, very, very strong personalities. I'm sure some of you have them in your own families. And when they come for Thanksgiving, nobody's happy. They're like, we love them, but they're they're ruining dinner.
Well,
you know what I'm saying?
Let me tell you what I think has happened here with
And he runs
Loomer.
that risk with her.
Yeah, let me tell you what I think has happened with Loomer right now, with this thing that's going on right now. I'm not talking about the history with Marjorie Taylor Greene or Miss Ohio, okay? And all that. And by the way, Miss Ohio was trashing Trump with these people on CNN without defending him. And you see these pictures; she's got everything all hanging out all over the place. So Laura was
people that trash
right
Trump,
on with her.
He's rejected them.
And she's Miss Ohio. Looking at the pictures in the article, her boobs have gotten her a yes from every man she's ever asked something from, and the first no she got was from Trump. So so she's on CNN getting even. The thing about Laura Loomer, this is what I think is going on now. I'm not talking about. I know her and Marjorie Taylor Greene have a history, but that's kind of been not really brewing. This has hit hard right now. This is what I think happened, and there was a sentence in the New York Post article about this that came out last night. CNN did a whole segment on Loomer yesterday. And then this article in the New York Post
really
last night, there was one line in it, and this is what I think has happened. All of the advisors, and she was on the plane with him, and they were all giving him talking about the debate and counseling him and giving their advice. Now, nobody tells Trump what to do. This isn't Kamala, but he listens to everybody and he takes advice or does. And everyone was telling him to stick to the issues, and this is according to the report. Okay.
Right.
And then there was one sentence that said, as he was leaving the plane, Loomer told him to get personal with her. This is what I think happened. Although I believe Trump won the debate, okay, I really do. And I think Kamala has been discredited by all this setup stuff around the debate. This is what I think has happened. I think a lot of in that debate, Trump did not personally go after Kamala like he would normally go after people in a debate. And he didn't do it for a lot of reasons. Some, I think it was a little difficult. They're flashing light in his eyes. His mic's muted. It's 3-on-1, all this stuff. But he took more of the advice from the other people than he would normally. He made one comment about the cat thing in Springfield, Ohio. And what the people in Trump's circle of advisors are doing, these Marjorie Taylor Greene people, they're deflecting off themselves, who have been telling him for weeks, don't get personal, talk about the issues. And they're trying to convince Trump that the debate did not go as well as it could have. It's not their fault. It's Loomer's fault.
They want her out.
That Loomer was talking to him about the cats in Springfield thing. And that's what made it not work the way it could have. Not our advice for you just to talk about the issues. Right. So they're trying to deflect any responsibility on the debate onto Loomer. They're trying to put everything on Loomer. I don't agree with that. By the way, the thing in Springfield, Ohio, some things have happened. Okay, a couple things have been happening here. With the situation in Springfield, Ohio, with the cats and all that stuff. And I'm not going to review it. It's been in the news all week, you guys know. But a couple things have happened. Yesterday, Governor DeWine, the governor of Ohio, was on Fox News interviewed by Martha McCallum about Springfield. And I don't usually watch Fox, but I caught that he was going to be on her show, so I kept it on Fox for a good part of an hour to catch the interview. They did not once mention the cat story. And I was expecting them to not only mention the cat story, but say it's not true and use it to mock Trump, because DeWine and Martha McCallum, neither of them like Trump. They didn't even mention it. And them not mentioning it to me gives credibility that at least part of the story is true, or they would have debunked it and laughed at Trump, okay? That's one. Today on the radio, if you remember Tuesday or Wednesday, I think it was Tuesday, I got calls from 4 or 5 people from Springfield, Ohio on the morning show telling me about the situation with the cats was true. And there was one person, the first person that called me is a regular, longtime listener to the program. They told me this. The other ones were not. They were new. And what I guessed at the time was, there must be some Facebook group in Springfield of concerned residents, and they've put something out on the Facebook, and they're calling me. And I didn't hear from many of them all week. And then today, I heard from the first woman who called, and I tried to get details on this cat thing. Is it true? Is it not? What's going on? She wouldn't even talk about it. She wouldn't comment on it.
What'd she say?
She says, I don't want to confirm or deny. She wouldn't give me any comment. I said, listen,
That's weird.
She had a totally changed heart. It was a hostage video kind of thing. And it felt like somebody had gotten to her. Something had happened. So that makes me think
maybe she's afraid.
Yeah. I get it. These small towns, they're powerful people there, making a lot of money off this stuff. So,
well, in a small town, everybody knows you. Everybody knows everybody's business. And I would imagine that the town is not politically unified. So,
well, the city commission is allowing this to happen.
Well, I'm saying if
they get elected.
If you go on TV or anywhere and say it's happening, then your neighbors might not talk to you anymore.
Well, here's
make your life a living hell.
Here's the other thing: the national media have gone to Springfield. Most of what they've done is stand in the street and say, "I'm in Springfield reporting." They're not going to the Haitian community and talking to them, or going to these buildings where they live and showing them. This is just a normal place. They're not doing any of that.
No.
So
They're standing in the streets.
That's right. And if I were in Springfield as a media person covering this, the first place I would go because they've told us that there's housing where the Haitian migrants are staying. You would go there and you would show people it's all normal. Look, none of this stuff's going on. But they haven't done that. So regardless of what the story is, there is some truth to these stories, in the very least, if not all
just come out of nowhere.
Yeah, it's too crazy.
It's too crazy.
There's some truth to it.
Yeah.
There may be things we don't know about that are bad, but there's something going on in Springfield, Ohio, that the governor of Ohio and the media are covering up.
What they need to do, if it is happening, it's horrific, is they need to let people know that there are grocery stores. Maybe they don't have grocery stores in Haiti, in some places, and they have to do this to survive. But here's what's possible. There was a video of a woman who had killed somebody's cat. There was a police video, a black woman. I think she was Haitian. It's possible that got out, and it just went crazy, the story, and she could have just had a mental break. But there were a lot of people I saw on TikTok and other things saying it, but the problem with that is people on TikTok can say things all the time just to go viral. Doesn't mean that it's true. And I think what's happening here with Trump and Laura Loomer is the people around him don't like her.
Yeah.
They don't think she's up to their level.
They're snobs.
She's very into these internet conspiracies and stories, things like that, which Trump seems to gravitate towards too. And I think they have a like-mindedness in that regard. But like I said before, if she is causing a lot of problems in his world with people, that's why he got rid of Steve Bannon. Which he should not have done, by the way. He got rid of Bannon because he was clashing with Jared.
Well, Bannon's back when he gets out of prison.
And him and Jared could not see eye to eye, and they were fighting constantly. And he chose his son-in-law, which you would, over Bannon because that's family. And he said, you got to go because Jared wants you out, and he's my daughter's husband. So that's, when you have people all around you, everybody wants his ear, and everybody wants to have, to be able to advise the president or presidential nominee or whatever, and then have him take your advice, that's like a very powerful feeling. Okay? You're like, wow, I'm influencing the president here.
It's a big deal.
That's something everybody would be affected by. And it's like a drug. And you have people around him that are fighting for his attention. And if you are an advisor and you tell him something and he does it and says it on TV, and it goes viral, you are like you're like running down the end zone through the touch, making a touchdown, like patting yourself on the back,
you know what
awesome.
Some of it is, Kathy?
So hold on. So when you have all these people trying to tell him what to do, and then they're sitting here advising him, and then maybe Laura says, you don't want to do that. This is what you want to do. And he takes her advice. That's going to piss those people off.
Here's the thing with Loomer. Okay, and Loomer is independent person.
Right, that's what I mean.
She's not with a media organization. She's not with Breitbart. She's not with O'Keefe Media. She's not with anybody. Okay, and she finds a way to make a living. She's not rich. Okay, she doesn't get paid for tweets. They monetize Twitter. I saw her show on Twitter. She showed what she was getting paid on X. It was really literally pennies, and she's got a huge X account. But what's happened? It seems Loomer's got a big personality, but she does not have an ego. but she's a big personality in a room. But
Yeah, no, I don't think she has an ego, but she's a very strong, assertive woman.
She's got a big personality.
Yes.
I don't know what you call it in a woman.
She doesn't back down.
Yeah, she is the equivalent of an alpha male, whatever you call that in women. I don't know what you call it in women.
Yeah, I think you could say an alpha female. Yeah,
and
she's the alpha,
and she's
and Trump's an alpha.
Well,
too.
let me give you an example. Okay, she used to work at. She did some work with Veritas, and she did some work with Infowars. The reason she's not at Infowars or with O'Keefe is because those are personality-driven things. Alex Jones and James O'Keefe.
Well, that's what I mean.
She's a big personality, and she's a big not ego, but a personality.
She's not.
And let me finish, Kathy. And she breaks these big stories, and a lot of people with these big egos don't want her around. And it seems to me, Kathy, what's happening around Trump with these advisors, recently the Republican establishment was defeated. We're now the Republican establishment, right? MAGA. And the people around Trump are fitting into their leadership positions, now replacing the Mitch McConnells and leaders of the new Republican establishment. And they're fighting amongst themselves for the ear of Trump, but also their role in the new Republican establishment.
Exactly.
And she's too close. And these other people that have Trump's ear are members of Congress, United States senators, right? People with some big law firms, people that have mansions in Palm Beach, and Laura Loomer, who's a girl living in her apartment that has a Twitter, right?
Yeah.
And,
so what would you do?
So they don't like it.
Well, that's what I mean. She stands out, and she's not going to step aside for anybody. I could tell you that. She's not going to shrink for anyone. She has reached the brass ring. You think she's going to let it go? That's not going to happen. The only way she would ever back down or stop is if Trump told her to, or if he said, "You're out of here."
He'll never do that.
Maybe not. If she's creating enough contention in his group, Marjorie, then it could be a problem.
It may look like that, but no, he may do a thing where she's not around, but she's a very valuable person to the MAGA movement because she uncovers amazing stories. Okay.
Yeah, no, I'm not arguing.
And
that.
what I would think that might end up happening what do you think's going to happen? If he doesn't keep her in his circle,
right?
Because if everybody around him is pissed off all the time,
exactly,
it's not going to be a workable. He's only got 4 years left. He's only got one term left. He'll still keep her around, but kind of like off the books. You understand what I mean? It'll look like she's off on her own, but she's really still working for him.
That's what you thought was going on now.
It was going on for a while, yeah, but she's gotten back into the immediate circle. I think she's been. I believe a lot of the stories she's broken over the last year or so are stories that she's worked on, even though she wasn't officially flying around with Trump like she has been, that they were things given to her from the campaign. Yes.
Well, I don't think that Trump's going to get rid of her anytime soon.
No, and I would like him not to.
Yeah, I don't see that happening because I think they have an understanding, and I think they have probably a similar personality type in a lot of ways. And I don't see him cutting her loose because Marjorie Taylor Greene doesn't like her. He'll just say, "Oh, that's just women."
But you know what, Kathy? It is, and this is this is a weird thing about Laura Loomer that I don't get, because when I tell you she has no ego, she is like a normal girl. She is. I know she's got this big personality, and you see her on TV, and she gets in all these. She's in Jake Tapper's face and all this stuff. But when she's not doing that, she's like our daughter. She's a couple years older than our daughter. She's like a normal girl. I mean, she's not. It's so strange because she does no ego with her. So I don't get it. But a lot of people are scared of her because she calls them out. Okay, and all the reporters and the media hate her. The Marjorie Taylor Greene hates her like the plague.
Yeah,
I'm not sure what Carrie Lake's position is right now, but I think Carrie Lake.
I thought it was really weird for Marjorie Taylor Greene to call her a racist.
Yesterday, she had a press conference about her.
Yeah, because she made a joke. I thought that was really weak, and it was like she was just grabbing at
It pissed me
anything.
off, and I'll tell you this about Marjorie.
Really shouldn't have done that.
Marjorie Taylor Greene. What she did yesterday, President Trump very openly told Marjorie Taylor Greene to lay off of Mike Johnson. He says, we got to stop this division.
Mm-hmm.
It's an election year. This division makes us look incompetent. And Marjorie Taylor Greene started this crap with Loomer. And that we shouldn't be out there fighting amongst ourselves in Trump's inner circle 50-some days before the election. We just shouldn't be doing it.
Right.
And I think that what she did was wrong. Now, I want to thank our Patreon supporters for their support of the program. Thank you so much, guys. Your support is greatly appreciated. It means a lot to us, and it does support this show very much so. And if you would like to support the program by becoming a Patreon supporter, there's a link in the description of this and every episode. And remember, Patreon supporters have access to commercial-free editions of all of our podcast episodes, and that's an exclusive thing. And also, Kathy and I both post a lot of things on the Patreon page that only Patreon supporters have access to. Our top Patreon supporters get a live, on-air thank you shout-out on each and every podcast episode. The names you will hear now are our top Patreon supporters. I want to thank Andrew and Connie, Christine, ETW, Chuck, D, Pamela, Rick, Nick, Wesley, Macho, Mike P, Carlos, Paulette, John, Heather, David, Maria in Texas, Richard, Alice, K-Mac, LeeZep, Shawna, Constance, George, Brandon, Rob and Trish Wilkerson, Christy R, and John S. These are our top Patreon supporters. Thank you for your support. And again, there's a link to our Patreon page in the description of the episode if you would like to become a Patreon supporter. We're going to take our last break, and there's a lot more to talk about when we get back. All right, I'm Brian, always joined by my wife and co-host Kathy. We'll be back right after this.
Are you ready to elevate your health and your wellness? Look no further than NutrixU, the ultimate destination for top quality supplements and personal care products that are designed to help you look and feel your very best. Whether you're pushing the limits at the gym, striving to have radiant, beautiful skin, or just looking to boost your overall health, from their powerful fat burners to specialized supplements, you can revolutionize yourself from the inside out with their premium protein and collagen collection. You'll experience stronger hair, healthier skin, and enhanced joint health with their expertly formulated products. You'll feel your best with each and every step. Their personal care and beauty collection is designed to enhance your natural shine and will help you radiate confidence every day. Founded by a father and his son, they're dedicated to elevate every day, combining the power of nature and science to bring you the best in health and wellness. Whether you're a busy professional, a dedicated athlete, or seeking a healthier lifestyle, NutrixU will support you with trusted, effective supplements. If you're ready to fuel your workout, have peak performance, unleash your potential, maximize gains, and push your limits, visit NutrixU.com. That's NutrixU, and take your wellness journey to the next level. NutrixU.com. The #1 new release on Amazon from author Dr. James Orrington will take you on a journey that will challenge everything you think you know about the world around you. Hints for Discerning Our Reality. Available on Amazon. In this groundbreaking book, you'll discover how historical context, scientific breakthroughs, through intriguing real-world examples like the mysterious movement of stone mountains, can shift your understanding of life as we know it. Hints for Discerning Our Reality is more than just theories. It's a meticulously researched exploration that blends captivating storytelling with sharp visual observations that will open your eyes to a new way of seeing the world. Imagine this, learning about the latest scientific revelations, like the mind-blowing theory that the Great Pyramid of Egypt might have been a hydrogen power plant, a feat so advanced that modern technology can't replicate it. Whether you're a student, professional, or just a curious mind, this must-read and life-changing book will deepen your knowledge of physics, physics, environmental science, and the very essence of life itself. Are you prepared to see the world in an entirely new light? Then order your copy of Hints for Discerning Our Reality from author James Orrington, available on Amazon in Kindle, paperback, and Kindle Unlimited. Expand your mind, challenge your reality. Order your copy right now. Are you ready to challenge everything you thought you knew about gender, sexuality, and identity? From author Sebastian Satke comes the book Pheromones, The True Origin of the Species on Amazon. In Pheromones, societies are built, characters evolve, and a chosen one leads a wild journey through the absurdities of human nature. Written with sharp wit and bold storytelling, this novel pokes fun at conformity, control, and all the things we take for granted. It's a satirical exploration of life, mixing the profound with the ridiculous, something even Charles Darwin would dare not tell. Available in both English and Spanish, this thought-provoking book is ready to make you laugh, make you think, and question the world around you. Pheromones, The True Origin of the Species is available on Amazon in Kindle, paperback, hardcover, and Kindle Unlimited. Order your copy right now, because evolution has never been this fun. Pheromones, The True Origin of the Species on Amazon. How would you like to transform the way you manage your relationships? From author Dr. Radek Vanna comes a book that will help you do just that. Relationship Theory, a scientific method to manage your relationships. Available on Amazon. For far too long, relationship advice has been complicated, impractical, and confusing. But with Dr. Vanna's groundbreaking book, you'll gain an intuitive approach to understanding the true dynamics of all human connections, both personal and professional. Author Dr. Radek Vanna is a researcher specializing in social science theory. He's conducted research at world-renowned universities, including Charles University in Prague, and he shares the findings of his research in his book, Relationship Theory. He breaks down complex social science into easy-to-follow steps, helping you analyze, manage, and improve your relationships your way. Available right now on Amazon in Kindle, paperback, hardcover, and Kindle Unlimited. Relationship Theory, a scientific method to manage your relationships, from author Dr. Radek Vanna. Order your copy today and start managing your relationships like never before, and master the most important skill of all: how to thrive with others. Relationship Theory on Amazon.
You are listening to the Brian Craig Show podcast, broadcasting from sunny South Florida. Brian is joined by his wife and co-host, Kathy. Follow Brian on social media at briancraigshow.com. And now, Brian and Kathy.
Welcome back, everyone. I'm Brian, always joined by my wife and co-host, Kathy. This is going viral on X. Tim Walz, who we haven't been hearing from in about a week or so, right? Tim Walz, this is a quick one. Listen.
Because this started, and I love this story, as a young prostitute. Kamala Harris talked about going in that.
Now, he's trying to say prosecutor, but he mixed prostitute with prosecutor and called her a prosecutor.
Yeah, Kamala's, it's a whole new word now.
I mean, how do you get...
He said prostituter.
Yeah, prostituter. How do you get prostitute into... Why did he have prostitute?
He's combining her two professions here.
But why even have prostitute on his mind? Makes you wonder, where did he get that from?
Yeah.
Is that
that's what they call a Freudian slip.
Is that not a bizarre thing? Okay, now, I have been telling you guys something for weeks, actually months at this point, since Kamala took over as the Democrat nominee, and people have been telling me that I'm crazy about this, but I've been telling you that the Democrat establishment leadership are working for Kamala to lose and Trump to win. And when I talk about the Democrats, I'm not talking about the people. I'm talking about the powers that be behind the scenes. As an example, this one guy that used to be a top Clinton advisor, although he's not famous, the guy that came with the soccer mom thing, is calling for an internal investigation at ABC News into this debate. That's to undermine Kamala. Joe Biden, you saw him put on the Trump hat the other day. Not only did he put the Trump hat on, he left with the Trump hat and walked up the steps, the big boy steps on Air Force One with the Trump hat in his hand, all the way up the steps, Joe Biden. That was not an act. I know the White House said he wants to show unity. No, it's not about that. Remember that Gates of Hell speech he gave in Philadelphia? He says Trump's an insurrectionist and all this stuff. That's to do in Kamala. I have never in my life seen a president carry a campaign material shirt or hat or memorabilia or merch of the opponent to the candidate of their party.
Yeah.
And when Biden had that exchange, okay, with the guy with the hat,
it shows you he really doesn't like her at all.
Not at all.
He never would have done that. Yeah.
I've been telling you, she's a sacrifice candidate set up to fail. When that Trump guy gave Biden the hat, they had, I know some people are saying, oh, Biden's out of it. He wasn't out of it then. Biden and that guy had a back and forth exchange. It was like Abbott and Costello, who's on first.
Right, and then he took a picture with a bunch of kids wearing Trump shirts.
Yeah. So
at the same thing.
Biden was more with it at that event than I've seen him in years. And he was very conscious of what he was doing.
Yeah, because he has no stress
and he was sticking it to Kamala. And the Democrat establishment are trying to purge the Democrat Party of the radicals that they think are making their party detestable to the mainstream American people. And the best way to do that purge is to lose a national election.
Maybe they're just trying to purge her.
Well, her and those around her, okay, and the squad types. They want the squad types out. They're destroying the party. And that's what they're doing. And I know, they would never let Trump. Trump only has 4 years left. He's only got one term left, and they figure they'll come back with Newsom or someone in 4 years. Now, this poll that came out, this is Rasmussen, which is one of the most credible polls. This is the Daily Tracker right after the debate. Trump now has a 6-point lead nationally in the Rasmussen poll, which means in the toss-up states, he has even a higher lead, right? That's national 6-point lead, Kathy. So that's a pretty big deal. So whatever people are saying about the debate and what happened, what didn't happen, what shoulda, what coulda, and all this stuff, he has had a bounce since that debate.
Yep.
Now, why that is debatable, but he still has had a bounce since that debate. So all these people out there that are saying, "Oh, the debate was a mistake. It backfired." If it backfired, why does he got a bounce, Kathy? Right? Why else would he have a bounce after the debate? It makes no sense whatsoever. There's another poll out. Kamala Harris is trailing President Trump by 17 points with working class voters. Okay, and that's a lot. 17 with working people. So you see, all the polls post debate
are good.
And Trump, they're all in Trump's favor. Now, some of them he's only like 1 or 2 points ahead, but he was 4 or 5 points behind. So he's gained 5 or 6 points. You understand what I mean in those polls? And that's not put in the perspective. So no. Not only is Kamala does not have a lead post debate, Trump's gaining. In fact, I haven't seen any polls where he's not. So don't believe the nonsense. The only polls that don't have him doing well are the ones they constantly reference on Fox, which I don't get, because when I had Fox on yesterday, waiting for the DeWine interview, all they were talking about were these devastating polls for Trump, and I don't know where they're getting those polls. They're the only ones that are not in Trump's favor. So I want to play just one clip from Trump's press conference today.
Now, as vice president, she's facilitated the largest wave of sex trafficking and human trafficking in history, the history of our country by far. And in case you don't want to write about it, you should, because there can be no bigger scandal than this. We have, under this administration, 325,000 migrant children are missing. 325,000. In other words, take your biggest stadium in California and you could fill it up 5 or 6 times. Those are all missing children. Many of them are dead. Many of them are sex slaves and slaves of different nature.
Okay, that's it. Everything he said there not only is true, everybody knows it's true. And for the life of me, this is what I don't understand about Democrats. The Democrats tell you they're the protectors of women and all this stuff. The children that are missing that he's talking about that are the sex slaves, they're mostly girls. Most all of them, right?
Yeah.
Where are all these feminists? The ones with the pink hats, the Me Too. Here he is in California. They got Harvey Weinstein in prison for what he did to how many women? And here you got 325,000 missing kids.
And you have a lot of people wanting reparations that are obviously we're all against slavery. Why don't they try to do something about the slavery going on now?
Yeah, the slavery is not all sex slavery. Some of it's labor slavery.
Yeah, there was a story of last year of an 11-year-old girl from Guatemala or Honduras or somewhere working at a restaurant in Florida.
Mm-hmm.
It was in the news. And she was given to this couple who owned a restaurant. She was sleeping in the back room, working for free, obviously. They were making her scrub the floors, wash. She was a slave, basically. And they arrested the couple, and I don't know what happened to the little girl, but that's going on all over the place, you know, and God knows what else. I mean, it's a horrible situation.
That's really sad. Now, I want to remind everyone, go to mypillow.com, use our promo code Kane to check out. You know, it's free shipping on orders over $75. I was talking to Steve Kane today. He asked if I could get him a set of the MyPillow towels. I don't know why he can't get it himself, but I'll order it for him. I said, yeah, it's only $25. I'll get you the towels, Steve. I'll order you the towels. With our promo code Kane at checkout, KANE, $25 for the 6-piece MyPillow towel sets. And those towels are the best towels ever. I told you guys so many times, I spilled an entire 16-ounce cup of coffee in our hallway. And we have tile floors, thankfully. And I reached into the guest bathroom and grabbed the first thing I could get, and it was one of our white MyPillow towels, and I just dropped it on top of 16 ounces of coffee, and it had creamer in it. It not only did the towel absorb all of the coffee, I picked the towel up, the floor was bone dry, and I walked the towel out to the laundry room, which is our garage, to put in the washing machine, and it held the coffee. I thought it was going to drip across the whole house.
I'll tell you something, too.
It didn't even drip.
The other night, you were asleep. I spilled water all over my side of the bed, okay? Like at 11 o'clock at night. And I was like, ugh.
Thankfully,
I was just getting ready to go to bed. So I took one of our MyPillow towels, and I put it on the bed.
Mm-hmm.
It soaked it right up. And not only that, I was like able to sleep on top of that towel and didn't even feel wet.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah, I mean, I couldn't believe it. They're very thick.
Great.
Like, I laid it on top of the wet area for the water.
And absorbed the water right out of it.
Not only did it absorb it, but the other side of the towel was dry, and I was able to sleep on top of it completely dry.
In the television commercial, Mike Lindell, he says, towels that actually work. What a concept.
They're amazing.
And that kind of sounds hokey. Like, okay, they're towels.
You've never had a towel this good.
All the other towels that I've ever had in my life just move the water around on you.
You know what it is?
They don't dry you. They just move the water around on you.
Some towels have like a weird coating.
I don't know.
And they don't fully absorb the water. Like you said, just feels like it's being moved around.
Yeah.
This is a towel you could literally just like if you come out of the shower soaking wet, like just you could like not even dry off, wrap the towel around you. And you'd stop dripping water. Like, it just amazing. Soaks it right up.
They're amazing. So the MyPillow 6-piece towel set is just $25 with our promo code Kane at checkout, KANE. They make great Christmas gifts, by the way. And remember, it's free shipping on orders over $75. And you can use our promo code Kane, KANE, on all the specials at mypillow.com, not just the ones we talk about, okay? My name is Brian Craig, always joined by my wife and co-host Kathy. Thanks so much, everyone, for tuning in. We will talk to you next time.